So we are eager to talk with you about whatever it is that you want to talk about. We want you to remember that you come from source energy, and that in this physical body you are an extension of that source energy, but that source energy part of you is still dominant and flowing and pulsing and part of your mix. And it's a wonderful thing that the source from which you come is still a very viable, in fact the larger part of your mix, because as that source energy part of you is offering the vibration of well-being, you have to practice long and hard to introduce a vibration that resists that vibration of well-being. So much so that we can announce to you unequivocally that if it were not for that thing you do that introduces resistance to your vibrational mix, your vibration would be high, your vibration would be pure, your vibration would be non-resistant, and you would be thriving on all fronts. But because you're willing, you don't mean to be, but you are. You're willing to put up with negative emotion. You're willing to be ornery. You're willing to be angry. You're willing to tolerate things that you don't want. You're willing to look at unwanted things and try to wrestle them to the ground and kill them. You are. You're willing to focus in places that do not feel good when you focus there. And because of that willingness, you're willing to introduce a considerable amount of resistance to your vibrational mix, which means there are things you want that you aren't getting. There are things that you want to be and do and have that you are depriving yourself of. But there's a little twisty thing that happens in your brain that says, wait. I would never deprive myself of the things I want. And we say, if there's any deprivation going on, it's your doing. Now we know that's hard to hear at first. At first it's hard to hear because you don't think you would do that to yourself, but you're doing it to yourself because no one else can introduce vibration into your mix. The relationship of your point of attraction is only about the source energy vibration and the vibration that you are thinking, the vibration that you are offering because of what you're thinking. So if there's any resistance, anything that's going on is your point of attraction. But then you say, but I would not do that to me. I'm sure I would not do that to me. And we say, if you've practiced thoughts that cause resistant vibration to the point that you are feeling a steady stream of negative emotion under a variety of labels, you're overwhelmed, or you're worried, or you're fearful, or you're angry, or you're lonely, or you're guilty, or you're blameful, frustration, all the way to despair, those are indicators that you've got resistance going on. And many would say and do, but Abraham, how could I live in this world and be out amongst the others without finding a considerable amount of things to feel unpleasant about? And we say, you can be better selective sifters than that. You want to sort, you want to sift. There is advantage to knowing what you don't want because it helps you to clarify what you do want. Even if you don't put words to it, knowing what you don't want helps you to know what you do want. That's how the source within you keeps finding those new vibrational places and set points to hold for you. In other words, when you know what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want, the source within you holds that place. It's your new beacon. It's your new anchor. It's your new steady signal to beam into. It's your new aware point. It's your new vibrational mix. It's your new source energy point of attraction. It's your new source energy point of attraction. Now, if you could ever get loose of your source energy's point of attraction, you could focus on unwanted things and not feel the pain of it. But because you can't be released from the gravitational pull of who you have become, when you struggle against it, you don't feel good. That's what negative emotion is. That's what sickness is. That's what stress and strain is. That's what everything that doesn't feel good to you is. It's because the larger part of you, because of you, has expanded to a new vibrational place. And you're not going because you're clinging to some vibrations that are different. For example, the source within you loves. And when you find reason to hate, you've got big time tug of war going on. And we know, you say, But Abraham, Esther said it to us, Abraham, give me a break. You can't think that's good. And we say, if it's not good, we don't think it. If it doesn't feel good to us, we don't give it our attention. And that's where you're going wrong. Doesn't feel good to you, you don't want it. The larger part of you is having nothing to do with it, but you're giving it your attention for some screwy reason. And Esther will say, well, I'll tell you what the screwy reason is. It's true. And we say, indeed, it is a screwy reason. Let your criteria be, I give my attention to it because it is uplifting, because it is fulfilling, because it is satisfying, because it aligns me with who I am. I give my attention to it because it is the furthest, most expanded part of that which I am. I give my attention to it because it feels good to give my attention to it. I give my attention to it because it breathes life into me rather than sucking life from me. Jerry came into the hotel room the other day, and Esther had been watching something on television, and he could tell there was a difference in her demeanor from the time he left and the time he came back. What have you been doing? He wanted to know. Well, I've been watching the anti-vortex. I just wanted to see if the oil spill had stopped. I just wanted to see that. I just wanted to turn on the television. I had it muted. I just wanted to turn on the television. I just wanted to see the clear water around that. And Jerry said, did you see it? And Esther said, no, it wasn't there. The minute the oil stopped gushing, they took the picture away. Esther said, I guess they really didn't want us to see the good news. Sort of like it was the bad news that was the bait.